Hi, my name's Megan Howard and I work for Aecus Recruitment. We're a recruitment consultancy based in Staffordshire with video technology right at the heart of our process here. So the first thing I wanted to go ahead and do was talk a little bit about how video CVs work and what it's expected to look like when you receive one through from a candidate. So this is to begin with what candidates will see when we send them a link to complete their video CV. This is the screen that they'll be greeted with. So they'll be first asked to input their name and their email address, and then they will be asked to agree to the privacy policy here. And when they're ready, they can click proceed. So then they'll have this next page here, just letting them know that they're going to need to give access to their camera and microphone in order to do the video interview. So this is the first page that you'll be greeted with. It'll be asking you to check your settings, making sure that the microphone's working, that the camera's working, and just making sure that was all working. So I can see that the line, the white line below me is flickering. So that means it's working fine. It can pick me up clearly. And when they're ready, they can start. So it just lets you know that you'll be asked 5 questions and you'll be able to click next through to the next one. And it gives you an advisory indication that it's going to be around about 9 minutes to do this. And then you've got a few tips there, so just making sure that you look into the camera, make sure that you're reading all of the questions aloud, because it really just helps you to give you time to think about your answers, and just making sure that everything's well lit as well in your center in the frame. So then it will count you down. And the first question is just going to be a simple one, asking them for their name and where they're based. And it gives you suggested times as well. And you also have that restart interview option. So if the candidate isn't happy with the first time they do the video CV, they always have the choice to be able to restart. And then we'll go through the questions. Again, it gives you those indications of time, and you've got that restart function there. In every single question, this will be the case as well. So then we've got another one there. So it just gives, it's always good as well as to for the candidates to talk through the questions and actually say them aloud, just because then you're not pausing to read the question and then there's this wait there, there's this delay. So if you're reading the questions aloud, it just means that you're able to process it, but also there isn't going to be a delay then in waiting to hear from the answer. So yes, it goes on to the next one about recent employers, asking them to go back a maximum of 5 years, talk a little bit about their story and what sort of environment you'd be looking to work within as well. And so it just gives you some ideas as to sorts of things that you can mention too. So then we come to the end of the 5 questions, and oh no. So immediately it will start to play, as you can see, and it will give the candidate the option to have a look back at the questions that they've already answered. They'll be able to also go and play through them and see if they're completely happy with it, if the audio quality is fine and they're ready for it to be submitted. And once they are happy with it, if I just hide that for a moment, you'll be able to say, I've been able to watch the interview back, I'm happy with it, and they can either submit the recording and then we will receive that, or they can choose to restart the interview. So in this case, I'm just going to hit submit, and then at that point, again, this will show up on screen and they'll be able to look at their final video CV, make sure that they're happy with it. So that's what to expect from the candidate side.